Hey, everybody. We're at the D3 CAB meeting, the Commander Advisory Board meeting with the very famous Joel Bell, the commander of District 3. We're just wishing everybody a happy Valentine's Day. Phew, that was exhausting. So, at any rate, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. It's officially February. Valentine's Day is coming. So, anyway, let's go join the meeting because we always want front row, The Blue Heart wall is officially gone. I see they kind of cleaned up the wall. Interesting. Still looks pretty trashy. And then the vent, they can't get the tape off the vent. I wonder how that's affecting the HVAC system. Cameras galore. Meeting starts in 10 minutes. Oh, yeah, front row for sure.
Seen you before. See one of these meetings.
Oh, what's the topic tonight? The Denver Police Museum. Awesome. Super front row here. Mhm.
Even my chest with the Denver Police Museum.
Hi, I'm Regan. We've
How do you
met
do?
before.
We have.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice to
So
see you.
you're on the agenda tonight, huh?
I'm on here.
Cool, because you have some cool stuff to share.
I do.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Hey, because
All right. So yeah, he was on
Supposed to notify.
camera. DMA and I went downtown to an event. He was very cordial. I have chalk all over my hands, you guys. How is everybody tonight? Who do I have for month? I haven't even looked. Hot chalk handed. So yeah, here we are.
Yes. Yeah, had a Bullis Mustang and Mustang, they're doing good, that's it on the street. Oh, yeah.
Police museum.
You drove around the Lamborghini.
Oh dear, dog walks. Oh, are you really going there? Hmm. There's been some talk about that. Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily, those guys have been, they have rights there.
Who do we have in here tonight? Thanks, Bohica. At therapy today. I've been having to do some physical therapy. Lots more to come.
There's something.
So I'm just running around. It's been a busy day. I almost forgot about this meeting. I didn't come last month.
We let out.
Kyle, are we staying warm? It was 55 today. It's supposed to be about 70 by Monday. Next Monday. No moisture in the forecast. So that's not good. So
Racetracks is.
Oh, you can use it all over the place. I gotta make sure to calling.
oh, you're just spiffy over there, Bohica. I thought you were telling me I look spiffy. Good times.
The car is second. 9/10 car.
So it looks like Dubs is our only mod in here tonight right now. So that's good. Just so you know,
But the car.
the mods have control of the chat. So if you come in here and get stupid, you may or may not get a warning. Depends on how the mods look at that, but they have full control. So we don't promote any violence in this chat. We never have. But full disclaimer, we are at the District 3 cop shop, and there's some cops mad here that are trying to prosecute me. You know, we're going to talk more about that because guess what? I have an update, and it's a funny one. But we're going to have to do that in private. And for those of you that were with me on Monday in Inglewood, imagine, if you will, while we were outside and I was talking to you in that live stream, the cops decided to go harass the homeless and issue citations in a spot where Josh is known to be, where Josh was not. Yeah. So seems as though Inglewood, I don't know, just isn't getting the message. And guess who they gave a ticket to for unlawful conduct on public property? One of the homeless guys that they just settled an excessive force lawsuit with. Yeah. I mean, no retaliation going on there, right? It's always a great idea to retaliate with those that your cops have beaten the shit out of for recording. Yeah. So anyway, things are going to be getting interesting in Inglewood again, just FYI. So stay tuned for that. I told you, you know, they take turns here. District 3 and District 4 of the DPD, they line Inglewood, right? They share borders. So it's Denver's turn right now. And then Inglewood will pick up a turn, you know, prosecute me, making shit up and write bogus warrants and all that. So Yeah.
Not very.
You don't think North Korea is this bad in America? Yeah. Yeah, Tish. I mean, it just makes sense, right? It just makes perfect sense. And not only did they give him a ticket, they gave another guy a ticket. Unlawful conduct on public property camping. That was it.
City.
They don't have a camping ban ordinance per se in Inglewood. They discussed it as a city council. hmm But they have this unlawful conduct thing. But it turns out that they weren't camping, they were existing. They were trying to stay warm. Yeah, but they indeed were not camping. So I don't know what that female cop was thinking, Mari Stober. So you'll see her on video in The Real Constitutional Upholder in his channel. Hi there. How are you? Good, thank you. In his last short that he published, I believe. You could head over to his channel. I don't know, Dubs, if you have time to find it. We have plenty of time in here tonight. But yeah, Mari Stober is interfering with his recording. And he made a short. And thank you for putting that link in there, you guys. If you have a buck or two to spare to give to the nonprofit, please do. So we can continue to serve the homeless when it's cold, at least. What's the name? So it's TRCU, The Real Constitutional Upholder, his channel. I'm sure you're subbed. And it's a short. And she is, I think it's the last one he published, the last short he published. And she is ripping into him about recording or something. And she's blocking his recordings. Ron Durbin got arrested for filming in a library. Oh, did he? When? Today? Gosh, can you imagine all the money and time resources spent on shoving the homeless around? All the money spent could be used to house thousands. I got a text here just a short time ago, something about a homeless corruption scandal in LA. I need to go educate myself on what broke open on that. Who was he serving the paperwork to in the library?
I looked at it. And I was like, huh, people are serious about it.
Hey, Ancap, how you doing?
Seems like
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hey, hey. Ancap, you've been posting some great memes lately. In fact, one of them you posted on your community tab was one I had found on Facebook too. It's the ice cream truck selling bootsicles. The AI generated one. That's a good one. That's a great one. To the higher ups in the library, huh? Interesting. And they arrested it. For what? Filming? Contempt of government? Disorderly conduct? Causing a disturbance? Yeah, good times, huh? So I don't know where Commander Bell is. Oh, he'll make a mad dash. Run into the room like he's coming on the stage. Yeah, his dumbass lieutenant back here, this Troy Sandoval, the bald-headed. I think that's him. Yeah, that's the fucker from the September 3rd video when I came to the meeting. thing I'm being prosecuted for. He's the dumb fucker that rang the bell. Hey, she's doing a live stream. Go watch. Yeah, here's his grand entrance. Yay! Where's the applause for everything? All the cops are in the room. Now remember, y'all, District 3 is a very wealthy, populated district of Denver. It's a very, very large district. In fact, I think it's the largest district. I think I've said that before. And they each district calls these something different. Commander Advisory Board, Citizen Advisory Board. There's another term for it too. But no, it's called the CAB meeting here, Citizen Commander Advisory Board. Except the commander doesn't take advisements very well. Yeah, the Holly Weird Awards, huh? Yeah. I tagged my location of this video when I set it up. I tagged the location of it at the Denver Zoo. I think that makes good sense. Welcome to the jungle.
Our neighbors.
Yeah, Kyle, we need a SWAT team. She's streaming. No, we'll just make up some criminal case on her and see if we can get a jury without a brain. Oh, you guys, they are pulling some incredibly fascinating shit at the courts. Wait till I tell you. But it has to come in a reenactment. So you're gonna have to wait. So you have to stay in the stream until it's time to go communicate in private. So I can put on the Mean Girls Jersey Shore Act for you. So this is what we're going to be looking at tonight. These are these handouts on the table. Black History Month.
All right, if we could get started, please. Welcome, come on in. All right, well, welcome to February. It's February already. So, today we have an incredible guest, Mike Hess. One of his jobs he does is runs and oversees the Denver Police Museum. John, I don't know how you do it. He's like omnipresent. Every community event I go to, it seems like John's there, giving us his expertise. So John, you want to come up?
So I've met many of you before, but again, my dad was on the department from 1957 to 1983. And that's one of the reasons that I'm involved in this project. Is it's a great way, when you're a kid, you don't appreciate your parents. And now I'm very much do. Unfortunately, he's gone, but it's a way to honor him. So I love it. And there's so many interesting and cool stories about the Denver Police Department that people aren't aware of. So it's been an education for me and a real opportunity to share some of those, particularly in the world that we're living in right now. So as you know, this February is Black History Month, and we have quite a history on the Denver Police Department with a huge number of terrific officers who were Black who served our community. So I just wanted to share, I was a little bit late on the agenda, so I apologize for the old school. I guess we are the museum, so a little old school. But so it was interesting to me to learn that Denver actually started with Black officers in 1880. And most people think, it'd be 1960 or whatever, 1880. And what happened was we had a kerfuffle down in the Five Points area, a civil unrest. And after it was over, the leaders in the community went to the city council and they said, hey, we need to have black police officers and black firemen. And the city council said, you know what? You're right. So on April 15th, 1880, we had our first black Denver police officer sworn in by Mayor Sopris. And his name was Isaac Brown. And he served on the department for 10 years. So we do an event every year for Black History Month to honor some of the different historical figures, and that's what's in the handout here. So interestingly enough, we've lost 78 officers in the line of duty since 167 years. Well, in our research, there was many officers, for whatever reason, didn't make it on the wall, about 15 of them. So we've corrected that. And the first one we corrected was the first black officer that was killed in the line of duty in 1920. And his name, and you can see it in there in the article, his name is Willie Steen. And we went after, we go find where they're buried and all of those kind of things. We went out to Riverside, and there's a few other officers, fallen officers, who do not have headstones. So that was our first project. We put up a headstone in his honor. He was the son of slaves. And, we try to go through ancestry and find their families, which we've been very successful at. Unfortunately, he was only about 30. He did not have any children. With our fallen officers, as many times is the case, because they're all so young, they didn't get a chance to do that. But so we did that. So then you'll see the next picture. This gentleman was the first black detective on the Denver Police Department. And you'll see, anyway, he actually came on in 1890, and he got appointed the first black detective in about 1918. The cool thing about him is that in addition to being the first black detective, he also started the motorcycle unit. So he was the first motorcycle officer that we had. And I went to his grave out at Fairmont, and he was so proud to be the first detective. It actually says it right on his grave. And we found some of his family living in North Carolina, and they came out. We found where he lived, and again, all kinds of very interesting things. And his brother was on the department as well. Now with see here, the lady, Denver didn't do a very good job on hiring black women. And we didn't get that done until the 1960s, and it required a law. And so you can see Carol Hogue, she's here on the left. It's called the Hogue Decree. And she and Ray Beth McCall and Laura Tinham Whitney were the first three black women that were hired on the department. Carol now lives down in Florida, but Ray Beth and Laura live here in town, and they are fun to be around and tough as nails, but very proud of their service. Made very significant contributions on the department, and they're very involved with the museum. So we're very proud of them. You'll see the next, Casey Simpson here. Casey was the first black division, and known all over the community. He told me, when he started, a lot of the white officers didn't want to ride with the black officers. And sometimes he said it in the black community, people would gun them because they were police officers. So he said a lot of times they didn't really feel like they had anywhere, And he told me that the black officers would meet for breakfast after roll call every day. And one day he was late, and they said, "Where have you been?" And he said, "Well, I went out because I'm going to file to get a promotion." And he said they all laughed. "Oh, yeah, never out." Well, it happened, and he became a very significant figure on our department. You can see Tracy Kesey. Some of you might know Tracy. She was actually stationed there at one time. Yes, and she's very involved. And now there's a lot of national talks and those type of things, etc. You'll see Mayor Pena and his bodyguards. Oh, I'm having a brain fart at the moment. But he actually was the first black officer to receive the Medal of Honor. And he also he ran the Nugget Security. And he lives here in this district, actually, so it's amazing. So
Bobby Simmons.
Bobby Simmons, that's right, yeah. So Bobby is great as well, and we honored him last year. And then you'll see on the last page, most of you should have, we're doing an event next week, and so if you'd like to come down to Blair Caldwell, we'd love to have you at 3:00. Our media board is the first black female division chief. She just passed away in November. And so made a number of significant contributions on the department, and we're very proud of her and her family. And this is a great program that we get to do. So the police museum, we're in the process right now of building our own facility across from the Stock Show. We work very closely with the schools to do trainings, on giving kids information about challenges. Gang recruitment starts about 5th grade. We all know the fentanyl situation, online safety, those type of things. Is in addition to doing the history, we really hope to have a public safety education program there, and have kids every day. We've received several awards from the Denver Public Schools for outstanding. We do a thing with the crime lab. We have a fake crime, and then the kids, we teach them how to gown up, and then they teach them how to collect evidence, and then at the end of the day, they have to tell us who committed the crime. So I tell the chief it's a cheap recruiting tool as well, because we want them to know about what jobs and careers or opportunities. We teach them about the criminal justice system and how that works, and 911 and a lot of things. So we're very excited. We're hoping to get permission for zoning here this year and get this place up and running. So anyway, thank you all. I always love coming to this meeting because it renews my enthusiasm that citizens are paying attention. And please come down anytime. You can see our website, on the internet, and schedule a time to come down. We have retirees do a lot of and then Police Week's in May. If you want to come down for that, again, as I mentioned, 78 officers. We put up signs at the locations where officers lost their lives. We've gone through ancestry. In fact, I talked to a lady today whose great uncle was killed in the first mass shooting in 1905. And so they're coming, and we're going to put up a sign. The school kids raised the money for the signs. So it's all good stuff. So anyway, I came early actually to try to get a hold of Commander Bell, because he's done such a good job. I was hoping that he would consider donating his body after he passes to. Didn't they
Please,
stop Trigger, No. A little later down. He's been hiding from me for days. And one other thing I was going to tell you is that, it's the 150th anniversary of the country, and the 250th for the country, and 150 for Colorado. So the museum, with the chief's approval, designed a new Denver police badge that the officers could purchase to remember that. So you can see the seal of the United States and then Colorado. So you'll begin to see officers wearing those. They'll purchase them with their own money, but anything we can do to tell history and get.
Right here,
because that's
let's tell them.
for bicentennial, because I'm old, and that was a great event to bring people together, and I hope that this will be the same. So that's great. Thank you guys for your time.
And Mike, I saw your production that you helped create on Willie Steen. If you haven't seen it, go to the Denver Police Facebook. It tells the story of the officer and actually how he was assassinated. And pretty powerful. So,
It is.
so thank you.
Yes, and the stories, when I started on this project, it was a list of names on the granite wall. But as you meet their families and see where they lived and hear their stories, you can't but help become emotionally attached. And they're always tough, they're 20, 25 years old, and didn't get to lead a full life. So it's very important that we remember them. So again, thank you guys.
Sure, Mike, this is for you.
Oh, thanks, Tony.
You're welcome.
Before I get started on the officer of the month, I wanted to address, some events that have been happening in the district. You might have seen them on the news. You might have seen our requests for assistance from the community. So I wanted to just address the elephant in the room. We've had two of our community members, two females, were attacked. One on January 7th and one on January 27th. Please understand, this is an ongoing investigation. We are having our major crimes division, our sex crimes unit, lead this investigation. They were not sexually assaulted. They were attacked, aggravated assault. We don't know the motive at this time. I can't say definitively that these two events are connected. There's some similarities. The method of the attacks are similar. A little bit of the description is different between the two attacks, but please understand that's normal. It's a trauma-based interview of the victims. They're fighting, so they're really not getting a great description of their assailant. The first one was, as I said, January 7th. And the female was attacked, screamed. One of our fellow community members, a man, saw the attack, rushed over and got the suspect off the female, and together they fled. That happened in the area of Louisiana and Grant, and they were able to flee to Broadway to a restaurant where they were able to call police. 20 days later, another female near the area of First and Grant, very similar MO, unprovoked, a male party came and attacked her. She was able to fight him off and he fled. We have collected some forensic evidence that we're looking at. I can tell you on the first incident, there was some items left, and I've talked to the detective, so I can share this freely with you. There was some items nearby where this occurred. They collected it. They were able to get some forensic evidence from those items. Came back to a party who had a misdemeanor warrant, domestic violence warrant. Our fugitive unit worked very late into the night, last Friday night, and was able to apprehend that party without incident out in Aurora. That party was taken to headquarters and a thorough interview occurred. That party was very forthcoming, very honest in the interview, and through his interview, through other digital evidence, other investigative leads, we were able to rule that person out. That item had just happened to be in the area. We were able to determine that he was not anywhere near this location at the time. We have also sent multiple requests to the community out to share any ring doorbell security video in those areas. They have received hours and hours of footage that are helping us. We just recently requested, there's 3 people walking nearby this suspect the night of the attack on the 7th. And we are asking them to come forward and let us talk to them to see if they can add to the description of the person we're looking for. In addition to that, in the Washington Park area, not in the park, but around the park, we've had a individual that has been exposing himself. These are two unrelated incidents. The suspect in the aggravated assaults is being described as a black male. The suspect in indecent exposures is a white male. I have spoken to the sex crimes unit on the indecent exposure. They believe they have identified the party. Unfortunately, the one suspect or the one victim who has come forward is now not returning phone calls. So we'll continue to do that. If everything fails, we're still going to contact that party and have an interview. And interview them. There was a lot of talk on social media about the indecent exposure happening over and over again. We only got one phone call. So it is very important, if you see something, say something. We can't go forward without a victim. Okay, sorry to start that on that note. Yes,
I thought your description of that individual attacking those ladies was really good, so I shared it with sheriff up there for Grand County too. I know these people move around a bit, and so they got it up there. So I hope something comes out, maybe right there.
yes, and I appreciate that, and that's a good point. When we're talking about this and the description is a black male, I don't want phone calls about a black male walking on the sidewalk. What I want, and I'm being serious, what I want is phone calls about someone acting suspicious. Whether it's the white male that's in indecent exposure, whether it's the black male who's acting suspicious, right? If they're loitering around, hiding in bushes, being in between buildings, that's what I want to be called upon. People are not suspicious, it's the behavior that is suspicious. All right, officers of the month, Sergeant Doherty and Officer McKenna. We're deployed on e-bikes and responded to the stabbing near Acoma and Iowa Street. The officers observed the suspect matching the description of the suspect from the stabbing approximately 3 blocks from the scene, traveling eastbound on a Lime scooter. Officers followed the suspect on bikes and contacted him in Harbor Gulch Park. The suspect was found to have a felony parole violation warrant and was taken into custody. He was found in possession of a BB gun, which was altered to make it look like a real handgun. 1911 is a style of a handgun for people who don't know handguns. Had illegal knives and suspected methamphetamine. A show-up was conducted with the witnesses from the stabbing. One witness believed he was the suspect. One other believed he was not. However, he was arrested for the parole violation and the illegal knives and suspected methamphetamine. Tonight, I looked into this. They were not able to determine that he was involved in the stabbing. But needless to say, these officers, because they're observant, took a dangerous person off the street.
Is he still off the street?
That I do not know. I don't see any new faces, but a quick look at District 3 and how it's broken down. We have Sector 1 and to the west, Sector 2 to the east, with Colorado being the dividing line to I-25. Really quick, looking at our District 3 overall statistics year to date comparison. Our person's crime is only at negative 4.5% down. That gave me some concern and looked into it. We've had some incidents with multiple victims. A patient that was at the hospital, Porter's Hospital, a assaulted the nurse. That ended up with having 3 victims on that. We also had our shooting on near Hampton and Havana on January 3rd that resulted in 2 deceased and 1 person shot. So we have these incidents that have raised the number. Also, we're still struggling with the domestic violence issue that I preach about every time. Property crime, we're down negative 34%. We're trying some new innovative approaches, especially in our precinct 314. We've had some stores that have a high level of larceny. I've spoken about that, specifically Marshalls as a high level of larceny. So we're working with them to address those and bring those down. Total crime is down year to date, negative 22%.
Commander Bell, are you aware that Michaels doesn't call in shoplifters?
Sometimes I do. Some of these stores, and that's something that we struggle with. Last year, I made a point to really tell these stores, I want to know about it. Even though it raises my crime statistics, I still want to know about it. What I don't know, and it's hard for me to address. But some stores, it ebbs and flows. Sometimes they will call it in, sometimes they won't. So that's a conversation I'm continuing to have.
Thank you.
And then Lieutenant Troy Sandoval, who's usually our overnight lieutenant, he's filling in for David Timmerman. And Troy, thank you.
Yes, sir. As the commander said, Lieutenant Timmerman is on hiatus. So he'll be back soon enough. I go over this every time because sometimes we have new faces. The district numbers, this is all of sector 1. This is only one sector of district 3. So district 3, sector 1, precinct 3 in sector 1. District 3, sector 1, precinct 2, sector 1. Each sector has 4 precincts. Generally, we try and assign 2 officers for each precinct. So let's go over the numbers real quick. I'm not going to go over the negative numbers. I'll only go over the positive ones. I was hoping you wouldn't catch that. But before we do that, let's go into the person, property, and public order crimes. Person crimes, everyone knows about those. Are the assaults, the homicides, the felony menacings, that kind of thing. Property crimes, anything burglary, theft, and that includes motor vehicle theft. And then arson, like we just had in our district the other day. That's also property crime. Public order crime, this is where everything gets a little bit milky with people. Public order crimes are generally officer initiated calls for service. So if an officer goes up to 711, gets contacted by the clerk, and the clerk's like, yeah, this person's been trespassed before from here, then please get them off the property and sign them with a trespass ticket and move them along, that kind of thing. It also includes indecent exposure, like we have over at the Watch Park, obstructing government operations and inciting a riot like we have downtown with all the protests. Public fighting, drug possession, loitering, that kind of thing. So whenever you see that number go up in the public order category, don't be alarmed. It's generally officers are focusing on a certain area in that precinct. The other thing is I was really trying to ignore this, but I can't. So we have 128.6% increase in 313's area. That directly affects the public order crimes. When we see this number go up, we know that there's going to be a crazy amount of crime in that area. We direct our officers to go over there and start trying to either look for a suspect, look for a vehicle, that kind of thing. That automatically increases that number because officers will see a person, they're like, I know that person, they have warrants, those kind of things, or they'll see a hand-to-hand drug transaction, they'll intervene. That increases our public order crimes.
What do you think increased it in 313?
So in 313, that
13.
was, sorry, which one?
13.
313? Yeah, the 48%.
The 128 and 40.
Oh, wait, I'm getting to that.
Okay,
I'm
sorry,
getting to that.
I didn't mean to jump in.
I just wanted to make sure we're explaining these so you guys don't freak out when you see the higher numbers and so. The 26.9% up in the 311s area, I looked into that. That's a majority of trespass complaints. Like I was saying, the 7-Eleven clerks will call in and say, hey, we have 3 or 4 people trespassing, and then we cite all of them. Of course, that number is going to go up. It also includes drug possession as well. 313, all right. So it's quite increasing in crime. The causes are major aggravated assault and simple assault, which generally is not the best to say about the person crime. You want something a little bit less scary out there, but 6 of the incidents had 8 victims, or a total of out of 6 incidents. Okay, I practice this and I'm messing it up. 6 crimes, but we had a total of 8 victims, and we count the victims. Generally on our stuff. So we had 1 DV, 1 was a neighbor dispute, so they know each other. 1 was at Florida Hospital, and that was 3 victims with the nurse. We just had another one of those the other night. An individual didn't want to cooperate and started kicking staff. I think he struck 4 nurses. So we now have 1 crime, 4 victims. The one of the Grant Street assaults that the commander was talking about, the second one wasn't included in this because it wasn't in the time frame that these numbers were pulled. We have a fight over at the La Plaza community amongst 2 of the residents, and then we have 1 argument that resulted in another person getting smacked. Simple assault, that also includes in the person crimes that it contributes to the 128.6%. 13 incidents with a total of 14 victims. So 8 are known. Roommates, friends, family, generally alcohol is involved, and then things go downhill from there. 3 of those were domestic violence. There was 1 bar fight and 1 stranger assault. May sound scary, but when I read the notes, person was a little bit intoxicated, walking home, saw another person, shoved him. That was the assault. I know that 128.6 looks scary, but I hope I gave you a little bit more insight. We'll be here afterwards to answer any questions that you have on any of that. But for right now, that's all I have. Does anyone else have any questions for me? Yes, sir.
You said 2 officers were assigned each precinct. Is that per shift or is that per day?
Per shift, per shift. Generally, we like to have 2 officers per precinct. If it's a precinct that's having an event or a particular problem with a crime or anything like that, then we generally try and staff it a little bit more. But either way, we try and have a minimum of 2. Yes, sir.
What's the average number of officers that are out on patrol in 313?
So because 313 is a precinct, we're gonna have generally 2 officers. If you're talking about all of sector 1, then it depends on the shift. Swing shift, our minimum staffing is 21, or our net staffing is 21, and then on my detail, overnight, it drops down to 15. We do our best to try and fill that, but
I understand. So there's just 2 patrol cars in 313. Is that what I understand?
generally there's 2 officers, yep, in each precinct. Sometimes like when the assaults were coming out, we generally tried to staff that one even heavier. We would double up officers, so we would now have 2 precinct cars with 4 officers in it, that kind of thing.
And the challenge with that is you don't want to take from another precinct either. So we try to staff it according to we're a data-driven department. And we try to staff it as we see fit. Troy's excellent of watching the data and putting the resources where they need to be. And just because a car's in 312 doesn't mean you're not getting coverage from that car in 312 if there's a spike in crime that night. They go all over. We try to keep sectors separate because, as we talk about almost every month, how big this district is. I do not want to take officers from sector 2, and even at night, non-rush hour, it's
why to try?
Honestly thought there was more. To be honest with you, I thought there was like 10 or 15 cars out at any given time.
So there's, for swing shift, there's roughly 20 to 21 officers. And then because of our car issue, we generally double them up. But yes, you will almost always get 2 officers per precinct. On my shift, it's a little bit different. Not necessarily 2 officers, but the sector and the precincts. I gotta tell you, I'm not a big fan of precincts. I think if you're a sector 1 car, then you go anywhere in sector 1. And that's generally how it's done. If there's calls holding and I see a call holding in 311 and I see car 314 is in service, the sergeants do a good job and say, hey, get over there and take care of it, even though they're already on the way. Once the officers learn how the sergeants want them to cross into different precincts and different sectors, then they know how to handle it. Don't think that we have a fence around a particular precinct and the officer stops the car. I can't deal with that. That's not how it works. But on swing shift, remember, they have a huge traffic problem because they got to deal with rush hour. And it takes forever. So if you're a precinct car, you're gonna stay, and the sector car, you're gonna stay in your sector. On my detail, in the middle of the night, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, there's no traffic, so we can kind of intermingle. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. See me out plowing, wave.
Yes, sir.
What would a fully staffed, if we were up at our full capacity, would we have more than 2 per precinct?
Generally, if we were 100% in a perfect world, we would try to staff at least more than 2 in a precinct. 2 is our minimum. So we'll go through 2 officers, 321, 322, 323, 311, that kind of thing. Would we have more than enough? Then we start adding more officers in there. If it was up to me, we'd have 30 officers on every shift. And that would handle the call load of this massive precinct or massive district. But I'll be here afterwards to answer any questions. I won't take too much of Julie's time for sector 2. And I'm helping out by pushing the button.
Thank you.
Get you ready.
That's great. Never have assistant. Good evening, guys. Troy did what Dave does, kind of the explanation and remind you guys about the numbers. If you look around for sector 2, nothing, great reductions. We're still early in the year. This is a 3-year average. The goal is to continue for those numbers to continue to go down. The 1 in 322 with persons is not statistically significant. You're talking about 1 more crime over that. So with that, just looked through the notes when we prepare on Wednesdays to meet with Commander about what's going on in our precincts or my sector that I'm responsible. I'm responsible for swing shift, which is, the whole district, but I am responsible for sector 2 as the lieutenant. So I just thought I'd give you all a couple updates on the shootings, the things that have happened significantly in sector 2 this year. We had that shooting on the 3rd. Commander mentioned it earlier, Hampton and Galena. And that resulted in 3 people shot, 2 of which died. The detectives worked on that case. There was not a lot of information. They had some vehicle information. They were able to identify that vehicle utilizing flock and LPRs. They tracked that suspect to Louisiana. The detectives traveled there and they've arrested 1 suspect on that case. So that's good. And then we had a shooting this past weekend that turned out at like 550 Alton. I don't know if that made the news or if y'all heard about it, but it turned out it was an accidental shooting, poor handling of a firearm carelessly, and a man shot his friend accidentally. The truth eventually came out. It was a little bit of a mess on the first, they're saying it didn't happen. It happened in a park. It happened in Aurora. The cops did their thing and determined where it happened. And eventually, everybody admitted to what really happened. So, we'll just keep on doing what we do and keep track of what's happening in these precincts. More to what this gentleman was asking as well. We do have typically 19 to 21 police officers on the swing shift, which is 1 in the afternoon until 11 at night. But note too that these shifts overlap. So when my guys come on at 1 o'clock, we have roll call at 1. They're usually deployed between 1:15 and 1:30. Our day shift overlaps until 4. So there are some more officers continuing out in the street for a couple of hours. And then when Troy's shift comes on at 9 o'clock, they do roll call. They leave the station around 9:15, 9:30. We have less of an overlap, but we do have a bit of an overlap. So you do have some more officers at certain times. And then commander has teams at his discretion, like our anti-crime team, or when sometimes I have more than the minimum, what we call minimum staffing for the detail because of days off, the way days off fall, whether there's vacations. This isn't particularly a big vacation time kind of year, so we're pretty well staffed right now, January, February. It gets a little worse, come spring, summer, as you can imagine. And so we will utilize ACT team, or if I have extra officers, put them on what you call a bike car, which is a proactive car. And I will say, hey, we're having a lot of problems, or I'll talk to the sergeants. Look, commander's got 314. We're tasked with really dropping that number in property crimes or retail theft in 314's area. We'll put them on that mission. Go over there, spend some time there. This man that has attacked women, those kind of officers will be dispatched to do some work around that. So we move them around, as Troy was saying, related to what's going on in the district and what's important. So, yes.
Julie, I work with quite a few guys up there and women who are roving cars, right? I ask them what precinct they're in, they go, we don't have an assignment, we just go wherever we're needed.
That would probably be the bike car.
That's
Oh.
the bike car.
That's the bike car.
Oh,
Yeah, I call it, yeah, it's in our deployment as a bike car, but yes, they are deployed where they need to be.
are they counted in your statistics for up 2 per precinct?
Yeah, I mean, technically they would be counted in that group. It's the same pool of people, unless we're talking about ACT team or something like that, then they're not in my pool of people. Yes, sir.
So after roll call, if there's no incidents, where do those officers go? Do they stay here? Are they
No.
in a patrol car?
You know why I'm laughing? Because there's no incidents. I have never, ever seen the queue in District 3 without calls holding, ever. I've been here for nearly 3 years. So there are always calls holding. But in theory, that ever would happen, they do not stay here. They go, they hit their precincts, maybe they stop in. Some of my officers, there's one, Shane Sperry, who works 314. And he has a lot of relationships with these stores and these managers and security, because he frequently responds to retail theft stuff. So he'll call them, he'll see what's going on, maybe he'll go by, do some directed patrol, go be present. But if we have stuff going on in certain parks, or I have a school zone where people are running stop signs, they go do some physical presence there. We also deal with, so the protest details come from the same pool of cops. So I have to send 6 of my officers to a protest on Saturday, starting at 4:30 in the afternoon. So they get taken out of that detail, and they are downtown. They're not here in the district. So we have a lot of things we have to do, but they have training. They have to do a bunch of training online and also physically elsewhere. That has to happen. Vehicle maintenance, we have a sergeant in charge of vehicle maintenance, and he does a really good job, and he definitely needs help with shuttling calls. So today after roll call, 3 of my guys had to run out to the garage and to get cars to bring back and then deploy. So yeah, I would love to see a day where there's no calls holding, but I've never seen it. Anybody else? All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, speaking of theft and larceny, some tips, about the porch pirates. Couple of 3 things we can do. Of course, there's others, but, have the package delivered to your workplace or to a trusted neighbor or friend who is more likely to be home. I just used that one this weekend. I was up skiing. I ordered one of my favorite shirts from Howler Brothers for all you men. If you look into that company, they're out of Austin, Texas. They're supposed to come on Tuesday when I'm home. They surprised me and it happened when I wasn't home. Had to have my neighbors grab my package. Here we go. Tip 2, choose a shipping option that requires you to sign for delivery or track the delivery status online so you can try to be home when the package arrives. Tip 3, asking the shipping company to hold your package for customer pickup at their local facility, some other lock or pickup location. I'm noticing online shopping now is getting a lot better about telling you where your package is, when it's expected to be delivered. So watch those updates, your emails and your texts.
Are we allowed to leave glitter bombs out?
With our great weather, this has not been a problem the last couple of weeks. Terrible for our global warming, but great for our cars not being stolen. But it will get colder, and when it does, please remember your car's not safe when you just warm it up with the keys. So be alert for that. And just like I harp on all the time, these stolen cars, it's bad enough that that's probably your second most worthy possession next to your home, right? So that's bad enough, but these cars a lot of times are being used for other crimes. And so that's why we're always addressing it. Not to have your car stolen for number one, but number two, let's don't give a vehicle to be used for other crimes. Report street racing. I had the opportunity to attend a community event, a community meeting with Councilman Romero Campbell. And I went in there thinking we would be talking about the homicide that Julie just mentioned. Number one issue was traffic and street racing. I get it. It's disturbing. It seems like it's a non-ending. We have a task force established just to go after that. But we also have the ability for you to report by going to report street racing. Coffee with the Cops. Some of you reached out to us last year and requested that we move Coffee with the Cops. Councilwoman Romero Campbell was one of those people that reached out to us. So what the plan this year is, we're gonna move it around the district. The district's so big, it's hard for people to get across town. So February 18th, we have one at 6395 East Hampton Ave, which is the councilwoman's council district. So glad to be there. This just came in and I asked Christy to throw it on our slide so we could talk about it. We have a Denver Public Safety Summit, and this is way too long, but look at all these speakers that are confirmed speakers. You have District Attorney John Walsh, our chief, Ron Thomas will be speaking. Just the independent monitor will be speaking. So if you're able to attend, it's an all-day event. I'm gonna leave this up for a little bit so you can get a picture if you like. You have to pre-register. It's RSVP is required. And it's over at 3701 Colorado Boulevard. And the reason why it has to be RSVP is that they are gonna serve lunch. And so they have to plan accordingly. And the times are from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. 3701 Colorado Boulevard on Monday, the March 23rd. Next CAB meeting, March 4th. So to all the men in here, fair warning, there's a holiday coming up. It's called February 14th. So give you a fair warning on March 4th. I don't want to see a lot of men looking tired because they've been on the couch for the last 7 days. And that's it. And I really appreciate your engagement and thank you.
What's the status of District 3 with ICE? What's the relation?
We don't deal with ice. We don't, assist them in the,
Real quick, everybody. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
so,
Um,
they don't call us. It's just,
so we have flyers here if you guys need to get a hold of me or John. We're your guys' community resource officers. So it's just a little pamphlet with all of our information. On this other side, there's some flyers if you want to go over any of the stats that we have. I'll leave these up here for you, and you couldn't get the colored one, but it still has the same information. You can put it with the cops in case you forget. If you guys want the, if you guys want the flyer that the commander was talking about for that seminar, email one of us and we'll make sure that we get it out to you so you can RSVP. Just to let you guys know. So, all right. I think, yeah, we can have Christie send it out if you're on our email list. If you guys aren't, just email us and we'll get you on there.
So there was a fight at La Paz. That's interesting. And by the way, Bill couldn't even pronounce La Paz, or that was Lucero. He didn't even know how to pronounce La Paz, the micro community where the homeless are. He called it La Raza or some bullshit. So nobody would even know what the fuck he's talking about. But
Yeah.
Well, federal officers are. Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. So.
same shit, different day.
Yeah, so.
You want to pay, well, buy anyways.
My name there. Yeah, I know,
I was about to go. Sure, to get that.
and it might be John might be more sick because he's sector 5, and what they take on, he's in sector 2, so. Might not be able to. I should just.
I don't know.
I would think so, if that's true, but like I said, before, John was being. I might not be. Yeah, it's me, Doug. Yeah, nice to see you.
So I talked to him.
Yeah.
I talked to Roseanne incident. Strange, you probably didn't hear about this. Burglar, that guy's out of it, we're gonna. He talked to.
Yeah, so-
Minutes yesterday. I did not talk to him specifically. He said he immediately got terminated. So he immediately got. There's more gossip. So he's the player, he's the cutting off trees. Maybe I should. This is the biggest impact to this. That's came. It's Canada. That is new.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
There's nice and even is.
Yeah, and I'll get it to you. Yeah, it's on.
A resident.
Somebody made it there and said, hey,
Police will never call. Yeah, police will never call. Yeah.
that's it. Money.
So. That's the great. Stop.
Yeah. He said he says education. Yeah.
Hang tight, you guys, hang tight.
That's all I have.
We don't know if they're being was up 128.
Yeah, so there was a district that was running this, the guy, interns.
Fire.
It's a better get now.
And I.
Oh, they're on the count.
Yeah.
Randy. Randy brought him.
Yeah.
People are selling it as well. Yeah, we wanted to be. So he's been removed. We don't know if there's any just here around. The lady got removed that same night, like during the death. She's right. I call me.
By the way, but.
And they did it with Rosanna. But the boss staff.
We asked them to.
I said, we can.
Oh, my third eye is open. Half truth. I'm reading the comments. I'm just waiting here to ask him a question since Timmons isn't here.
Yeah.
Last time you were there, we were at like a couple different tables. And so she always felt like it was.
You're very welcome. Yeah, I just wanted to slide that over as we're, talking about
Always the same.
history.
Exactly.
Thank you. And I do appreciate what you have to offer in education pieces. I really do.
It's, I've learned a lot.
Did you say that were you a cop? Your dad was. Okay.
That's the way to honor your dad.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that.
You know, the challenge is that
He retired from DPD. That's what I heard.
way back in the 80s.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and it was interesting because even though my dad was a policeman, I really didn't know what they did. I watched TV.
Mhm.
So I asked him when he was young, "When did you fire off your gun thinking you do it like every half hour or something?"
Right.
And he's like, "Well, I pulled it once." And I was like, and of course now I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
At the time, I got to know some of his friends and they said that he always, like if he had to arrest somebody, he'd have like the hotel, if it's a hotel, they call up and say, we're sending somebody in to work on the air conditioning or something so that people weren't, everybody could go home. He didn't like high-speed
Interesting.
cases or
Yeah.
any of that stuff. And he was trained by the Secret Service in handwriting.
Huh.
And when I was a little kid, our neighbors come over, they go, "Your dad's in the National Enquirer." And I'm like,
Oh,
and they
funny.
had written like a story about he was very, talented in that. Of course, now it's all computer. It's not a
Right.
job, but
Right.
anyway, so
That's cool.
it's cool. It's been fun and to get to meet his friends and
Sure.
all that.
Sure. Awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
But there's also like paying attention and we're not gonna let stuff just get away from us.
If it wasn't for Do Better Denver.
Yeah, that's when I saw that. Danielle posted that. Live streaming that if you don't mind me asking.
Why am I live streaming it?
And are you like,
Myself.
oh, I thought you were doing it for like Washburn neighborhood or something.
No. It's just my YouTube channel.
Well, you're doing a really good job.
Regan Benson,
What's Regan Benson?
my name.
And what's your channel all about?
That's my name, Regan Benson. That's the channel name. My channel is about homelessness. I am a homeless advocate.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
We can see that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank
Thank you very much.
Right, you don't want to.
What, are you with, any of the nonprofits?
My own, I have a 501c3 Helping Hands for Dignity Coalition.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go
Thank you.
into more length and
How
detail.
long have you been doing it?
The nonprofit's been in existence for a little over 5 years. So, yeah, right here, this area, and it's all
All right.
privately funded.
We appreciate
Brown
that.
University.
See you, nice to meet you.
All of South Denver.
You have like a QR code or a link?
I will do.
I don't, not on me.
What's happening?
I've got a card buried in my purse.
No.
If you can remember my name, it's just Regan Benson. And who are you?
Yeah.
I'm John Blackshire.
John, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
You can go sub to my channel right now if you have YouTube handy right there. If you go up there and type in Regan Benson.
Because there's so many different ones.
Regan?
Regan. Yep.
Because I've worked all the outlet stuff.
Regan Benson.
Yep.
So, like, one of the things is bad, so we're realizing that here. So to me, that's, I can pass them.
What camera do you have?
This is just an iPhone.
That one right
The
there?
rest of it, you know what? I mean.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you?
Yeah. You know, I gotta.
Is that when you were younger?
I just got myself.
That was first grade. That was my first grade school picture.
I go through that. I can't get a pair of jeans to last me this season anyway. You know,
Live right now.
I just.
I am. You asked me what I was doing live streaming or where I was live streaming it. Oh, no, he asked me that.
You're live right now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, because they don't stream these or record these meetings.
Yeah.
And some people want to watch them, and sometimes I like to go back and refer to them as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're like one of the only, I think they are the only
Yeah.
district that does not offer a online option for people to attend.
What I would say is, you know, if you're seeing criminal activity at that time. Just mostly can't. Right. And that's why I want to share. So if you're seeing something like that, criminal nature, right? Definitely.
Yep.
But, yeah, almost as self-sustaining. And
It's awesome.
yeah,
The wonderful features of YouTube.
Love it.
Yeah.
They try to ask.
I love it.
Did you ever get involved for a day or I've seen them all city. But I said the fires and the fishes and stuff. Yeah. Because they okay. Yeah, so anything that's 127 years old is gonna be a little brittle and dry. You see, it's a visual. Community golfers.
I'm just waiting my turn.
He wasn't kidding, that is.
Mhm.
A cabin. Yeah, you know, you know, it's like 6.5 times, and I've talked to him a couple times, and sometimes they're, you know, nice and receptive. You know, and it's, I was asking him later. He knew something. No, I haven't heard anything yet. And that's more of on the fire side. So I really wouldn't.
All right.
They got it burned down the farm building. Yeah. Well, that's the difference. Yeah, I think they caught that one by the was held with
You as well.
surveillance, and thank you very much. Absolutely. Take care. Thank you. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
But they were able to get the public's help bring doorbell camera and come in super handy, right? Tracking somebody that's walking by, right? Before that, so I know that that's how they caught that person in the car. That's true.
I know Sean's right across, but I don't think he got a good footage, you know, I think Dan, check my cameras, so yeah. I got cameras all over the properties there.
Yeah.
So if you guys are the meeting, yeah, I mean, we got both the alleys, anything around, so they're right next to it over.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then same thing, right? If you know something that happened and you check the camera systems or whatever, and you see something that, you know, might be of interest to us, at least to try to follow up on, or, you know, something that they can definitely reach out and, you know, even if it's not me, right, I can get you in contact with whatever detective that's currently investigating that, right? And you can talk with them and
Hopefully we beat Detective Kate.
Could be.
I miss chatting with her. No offense or anything.
Yeah, no,
I miss
not
chatting.
taking, not taking. She's a lot better looking than I am, that's for sure. So.
Yeah, we won't even talk about that. I used to be handsome, but
You're missing part of an ear, you know, I'm old.
I'm missing what used to be
Yeah.
my pride and joy.
I
I'll
hear
send you pictures from the piece of hair down to here.
Oh, no kidding?
Yeah, I was gonna be Denver's heavy metal hairdresser.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I played the part well. I believe in you. Ask Kate to see that picture.
Oh, she's got one?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'll ask her.
We've talked so much, like, I gotta see it. No. Well, I'll just keep at it, see what we do. Yeah, come back with you. I've talked to them before, sometimes they're really nice. Other times they're like, it's like, you know, yeah, I see a lot of names. They get on the neck. Yeah, it's like,
Well, and you definitely still, still do that, notifying 311, right? Because they have the resources as well to keep going down and, offering that stuff and.
I find it calling support, right?
So, hey, yeah, whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Something that I just, I wish, it confuses me that they won't go over to La Paz and get some help in that other situation. Because I didn't see two people more there. I just talked to a couple of guys and they had my names. I knew they were homeless and I got no problem with that. They weren't doing anything wrong. I asked them, like, have you ever tried to get in over there? It's too hard for us to get in there. They have too many barriers. I was under the impression that it was easy to get into there, so.
Well, I mean, it's like anything else, they're gonna have some certain guidelines, right? That you gotta kind of abide by or adhere to or something of that nature. And not everybody wants to be.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but just FYI, I'm a homeless advocate. You can't just get into La Paz.
Yeah.
So it's full. And because of it being ran so poorly, they choose not to work with the people that know how to place people that will succeed there. So they need new management. They need a new service provider that runs La Paz. And that's what I was waiting to ask him about.
You're the first person who's ever told me that. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because I'm 2 blocks away from it and I'm genuinely concerned about, this is here. How come I'm seeing so many people not utilizing something like this?
Because there's nothing to utilize,
It's
and they're
such a
hoping there
great
is.
idea.
And that's why they're around. They are hoping. The homeless community is hoping to get in there. And they won't expand it. So there's not enough units and it's full. However, there are people that exit and then appropriate people get placed in there, but you don't just get to walk up there and say, hey, help me. They in fact call the cops on you if you do that.
See, it's sad that I had to ask a couple of homeless guys and that they haven't told us anything like that.
But they wouldn't know. They don't know.
Well,
So I mean,
sometimes
has
like it
hasn't come to any of our neighborhood meetings and says, here's how you get into La Paz.
Why not? Why aren't they doing that?
A good question.
Yeah.
It's a very good question. I have consistently invited them. We have 2 neighborhood organizations over there.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I was gonna say to you. I don't know how much, I know you're on the GNC thing. It's like, I want there to be more communication between them and the neighborhood, so we know if there is good situations going on. We don't hear nothing about it. I go to all the open meetings, I go to all the noon meetings.
Well,
I
so
never hear anything
the whole-
good coming out of La Paz.
Well, you're supposed to be in there. So what's going on in there?
Right, and that's what I'm.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So-
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the GNC, right, it has like Jen Grieving, right? President of Liz. Yeah, Liz, right? They're supposed to take the information and bring it back and help disseminate that information. I don't know if that doesn't sound like that's happening or not clear enough or something of that nature.
There's a link in a newsletter.
Yeah.
Then go here. I would like to hear it directly from the horse's mouth, to be honest with you. And I think it would make a great improvement with the neighborhood if they would come into their neighborhood meetings and say, hey, we got these many people that are really doing good.
Yeah.
Hey, we had some troubles here, but we're looking into this,
Yeah.
Do you guys have a mouse problem?
I think it's shadows. I think it's
It's
Traps over.
yeah, no,
Oh.
there's traps. Yeah, no, yeah.
So there are mice in the room.
You want me to see? my
They're
cat?
spying on us.
I know, right? We should have like a district cat or a couple of them, right?
I didn't
Right.
change the
But
subject.
no, you're right. But what I would do though, if you're interested in having, potentially having them come out and talk, and then you guys can ask questions, I would get with either Liz or Jen and have them invite them to, talk to them about coming in, presenting
Daniel.
their, yep, Daniel as well.
Daniel's the president of our side of our neighborhood community.
And then they can bring that up at the GNC and see if they can't coordinate something, to get them into, come down.
Well, instead of suggesting the neighborhood group, maybe get the city to do that because the neighborhood group is all volunteer, right? So there's a whole department in Denver called Host. And it's housing and it's housing stability.
Yeah.
That department is in charge of those contracts with La Paz, and they have people that could talk to you about that.
Mhm.
I would use the 311 system
Okay.
if I were you and say, I would like to speak to someone from Host
Okay.
that can answer some of my questions about this. And then I'm going to give you my card.
Okay. I'd really.
And if they don't follow up, Doug, I'm Regan.
How you doing? Regan?
Good. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
So if you want, if you're trying to get them to come to the whole neighborhood, right? Then you probably need Dan or Jen or like somebody, that represents, on the board of NHUA, whether you contact Host or they contact, however that works, right? So that they can get them on the agenda. It just,
For your own personal, but for your own personal knowledge
Absolutely.
and getting your questions answered about why there aren't more people being able to utilize that space, it's Host that needs to answer those questions.
If you get an email from Doug Daniel.
Okay, Doug, that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And Officer Silva, since I wanted to ask you, since Timmons isn't here, I'd like to be filled in on what took place at La Paz, since it got brought up in a public meeting. So there was a fight there.
Yeah, so I was actually on vacation when it happened.
So you may
So-
not.
I know that there was a fight between two residents. And the one person that was the suspect in it left La Paz and was later contacted and arrested for it. And then the other one went to the hospital to receive some medical treatment. I don't know. I think it was just more bodily injury. It wasn't severe SBI, right? So it wasn't like stabbed or shot or
Sure.
anything of that nature.
Was that call associated with the calls at Porter?
No, because the person that was brought to Porter, well, the person from La Paz, I think went to DG. I'm pretty,
Okay.
but that was the victim portion.
Sure.
But I know, what I do know though, is that the suspect, party that fled the scene was also exited from La Paz. I don't know whether that exit took place and that's why he left before the cops arrived, or once he left, they exited him and then said his stuff or.
And since it's a matter of public record, do you know who made the call?
That part, I don't know. I'd be willing to bet it's probably La Paz staff member. But I don't know if it was a staff member or the victim themselves, to be
Sure.
honest with you.
Yeah, and
I came back from vacation and I heard about that and I was like, so,
this happened when?
mid-month.
Okay.
Yeah.
January.
Early, yeah, in January. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, absolutely.
All right.
January, so.
That's all I wanted to understand. If I can email with the rest of my questions. So thank you. Appreciate it. You too. Okay, so hang tight.
So that's the behavior.
That was pretty.
Interesting.
TJ, what's going on? How are you? Is there anybody else we need to document before we leave? Anything or anyone? Oh, I did good. I did really good in that meeting. You guys have probably no idea what just transpired, but that's okay. We don't really need to talk about it. All that matters is this and this. Spread some love. So, okay, let's talk about Bohica. So yeah, I want to tell you about about what's going to go on with my criminal case. Remember, we have court on Friday, pre-trial, for the charge of what's that charge again? It's a misdemeanor charge. I don't know what the statute is. I can't for doxing and for sharing personal information on the internet of protected people, the cops. So, if you're an educated person, you've done your research. I've cited the statute before. It's on my community post. If you're curious about it, you can educate yourself on this one charge they're trying to hem me up on. And if you don't know about my case, I don't want to start from the beginning because I'll slip up and give too many details. It's funny. It's just, you guys, these cops are they're just so dumb. They're just dumb. We talk about how dumb they are. And Joel Bell and Brian O'Neill are two of the dumbest cops in their official capacity. Come on, you guys, you got to remember what I got to say so they don't go pick out a word in this live stream and write a warrant for it 2 months, 6 months down the road like they did from September 3rd. The bottom line is they said I said some stuff and that I was an imminent threat. That there was an imminent threat on their lives and their families. Okay? For anybody that's been with me all these years, we all know better. And we know how hard, and this isn't funny, we know how hard cops, government, every layer of it is trying to shut down the First Amendment, free speech. And when you say things they don't like and you start exposing some truth and start showing what they're really about, they want to end you and they don't care what it takes. So that's where we're at with Denver and this whole thing about them trying to throw me in jail and get a conviction and on and on and on. It's revenge. It's sick, twisted, psychotic shit. So that's the serious part of it. And we all know that it can happen like that to anybody in a court because people don't understand that judges have immunity. There's nothing you can do. They can throw trials. This isn't justice in the USA. This is the just us system. And we all know it. And the cops know it and they love to play the game. But we were supposed to have pre-trial on Friday. And I want to reenact what I think. And this is just my opinion. Okay. This is my opinion. And here's the names: Carrie is the chief judge in Denver. Judy, is a county court judge. Mind you, this is a misdemeanor charge, one misdemeanor charge. So you got Carrie, the chief judge. You got Judy, who is Carrie's bestie. You need to know this before I act it out. And then you got Isabel. I think that's her name. And she's our judge on this case. And she is inundated, and I mean inundated, and backed into a corner by Jamie, my attorney. Okay. I don't think most people know how lucky I am to have Jamie as my attorney. Jamie doesn't F around. And Jamie is exceptionally intelligent and is a defense attorney that you could only hope you could retain, even if you sold some body organs and could come up with the money. Okay. She's not small fries. Okay. So you got Jamie, my attorney, Isabel, the judge on the case, Judy, we'll call her Judge Judy Smith, Judith Smith. She was the trial judge for the last O'Neill case and did not allow First Amendment arguments, allowed no constitutional arguments, and my attorneys at that time still mopped the floor with Brian O'Neill's face. Okay, Judith and Carrie. Okay, so here's how it goes. Isabel says, Carrie, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do with all these motions. I mean, this stuff is like totally over my head. And I just want to deny everything. I just want to deny all these motions. And so what do I do? Carrie. Okay, look, Isabel. Let me get on the horn and figure out what we're going to do about this. But whatever you do, just smile and look like you are really working hard to do your job. And my husband, the cop, Carrie, I'm Carrie now, talking to Isabel, the chief judge, is married to a high-ranking law enforcement person. So anyway, Isabel, so we will just maintain status quo. I'll see you at the club on Sunday for mimosas, and hopefully Phil will be there. Oh, I forgot to tell you who Phil is. Phil Weiser, our AG, our already declared next governor, okay, who's busy campaigning right now while he's playing AG, Attorney General. And hopefully Phil will be at the club and we will get this all figured out. Okay? So I'll get back with you, girl. Hang tight. Ring, 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 ring. Judy, we've been besties for a long time. And I really think we're effed on this situation with Jamie. Because, we have a history with Jamie and she is gonna just F our world up. And so Judy, I don't know what the fuck to do. Judy, help me. Settle down, Carrie, settle down. Is this the Regan Benson case? Yeah. I mean, what are we going to do for Isabel? Okay, hold on. Let me think about this. I know, Carrie, I know what we're going to do. We're going to write Phil Weiser a letter. Okay? We're going to write Phil a letter, and we're going to tell Phil Phil, we got to get a response from your office because there's some bullshit floating around about this whole statute being unconstitutional. And I got a judge that has to rule on this. And if we do that, everything's fucked for meeting at the club on Sundays because everybody's going to be pissed off at each other. And what are we supposed to do? That's the letter I'll write Phil. Carrie, don't worry. And then we will need to send Jamie an email and we're going to reset the trial. Okay? All right, girl? Oh, Judith, you are a genius. Oh, I feel so much better already. You think we're going to be able to pull this off? Carrie, what did I say? I told you to settle down. I got this, girl. I got this. So call Isabel and just let her know to just play it. Just lay low. Just lay low. Okay. All right. So if we do this and we violate her speedy trial rights, then what? Carrie, what is wrong with you? Are you drunk right now? You know we have total immunity to do whatever the F we want. Why are you freaking out over this? Because she's gonna kick our ass, Judith, and this isn't gonna go away. And we can't rule on this stuff. I got it. All right. Talk to you later, girl. Bye. I shit you not. You guys. So my rights are gonna get violated. And apparently we're not going to trial next Friday. And we were also told that if we want to appear virtually on Friday, the courts will go ahead and do that little favor for us. The shit is deep. It is so corrupt. It is so corrupt. I don't even know what to say. So anyway, they are that desperate because my attorney is that good. And when we get a jury sat, they are literally going to have to be dead, high, incompetent of the English language, hard of hearing. Something is going to have to happen for a jury not to go, are you fucking kidding us? We had to give up a day of work or two, however long this is going to go, to sit through this bullshit. You guys, it's really bad. So I could be totally wrong about the girls' club at the courthouse. I could be totally wrong. But I doubt I am. So I don't know what's going to happen. But we'll know more on Friday whether or not we're ever going to trial. And I don't know exactly what my attorney is expected to get done between today and Friday, or what she'll get done. I don't know. But let me tell you, again, the steps they have taken over this is mind-blowing. And that warrant return for the warrant to Google and the amount of information that's been turned over, to me, I don't know. I think they're trying to create a new case. I think they've ran out of time, and somebody is convinced if we just get more time, we'll be able to create a new case, or we'll be able to dig up some more charges to add to this case. I think they're convinced. So whatever they're up to, they are looking, in my opinion, they are doing the DA a favor wherein, you know, Mayor Johnston's wife is a DA in that office. Uh-huh. And Carrie's married to a cop. And Judith is her best friend. I don't even know why the fuck Judith Smith is involved at all. And Isabel is over here just looking all cute and sweet, just continuing to violate my rights. So, I don't know. I honestly have no clue what's gonna go on. But it is a little funny that they honestly think that they're going to one up Jamie because they're not. And I'm pretty confident that they know they're not. So it seems to me that they're doing some other people some favors to likely build a new case. That's my conclusion. Right. That's I've got nothing else to go on. So who sends a warrant? Who signs a warrant for one misdemeanor charge for someone's entire life on Google? I don't I don't know. So I don't know, Kyle. But yeah, DJ, I could tell you. I could give a full-on seminar of what to expect when you think you're going to fight the government and win. But look, I think I'm an oddity. I've done pretty damn good. I've won way more than I've lost. And it is because I understand that you cannot go into any court. I don't care who you are. I don't care how fucking smart you think you are. If you are not an attorney and you do not have the relationships built in the courts and the system that you are trying to fight, you will lose if you try to represent yourself. Again, I've asked this in the past. Give me a name of an activist, of anyone out there that you know that has beat a criminal case of this magnitude. I mean, let's be fair. I'm not talking traffic shit and stuff like that. And successfully sued in federal court for civil rights violations on their own. I want to talk to them. I want to know them. I want to understand how they did it. And if they represented themselves, they are certainly wanting to share their knowledge. Okay? So perhaps they have something to teach other people about how to represent yourself and win. But I am of average intelligence, I would say, and I am above higher intelligence in understanding the system as compared to most, or a jury of my peers, or of any other citizen, truly, because I've been through it. And I would never in a million years represent myself. So, yeah, let me know, half truths, if you find anything. And the whole guardian angels, yeah, that's probably. However, I do have to be expected to make good decisions for myself and implement them. I don't think it's all just luck. So it takes some, being smart. So my advice to anyone, and look at Hendry, do not ever, when you are a focal point and you have made it a mission to expose injustices and corruption, it's not they might want to take you down. They want to take you down, and they're going to die trying to do it. You're going to die. You get it? So we don't advocate violence on this channel. And we know that only they are allowed to commit the acts of violence, to commit the collusion, to collaborate, to lock me in a cage, to assault me, to violate my rights. Only they are allowed to do that. Remember, we are peasants. And so those things are really happening. There's a lot of collusion going on. And it all started right here that day we did that live stream. They're lying. They're trying to tell a story, and they're going to try to convince a judge, to convince a jury that this story must be told. And also, these judges, they want this. They want this conviction as well, because it sets a precedent. I can't say too much about this statute in the state of Colorado right now. And it has to do with the climate and culture of politics right now, and our ability to speak as a nation about our government and what they're doing. And I don't give a shit what your ideology is. We are all living under this same government, whether we like it or not, or we think we can fix it with this guy or that guy or your guy, which you're still a fucking part of the problem if you think we can. It doesn't matter. We have to be able to talk. And we have to be able to defend ourselves. So that's why there's a lot riding on this case right now. It's a very trivial misdemeanor charge, but it's going to set some huge precedent in this state, I believe. Okay. So I just wanted to give you that update. This has gotten exceptionally wild. And when I got this news today, all I could do was picture these women playing these roles as part of the club that Jamie and I aren't in. Even though, shit, Jamie and I, we got our own club. And we can compete. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, we can compete. I was always that girl in high school. I was always for the underdog. And I don't know. And it wasn't the popular thing to do, right? It just wasn't popular to go want to communicate with the unpopular person who may have had a weight issue, or who may have been pregnant and ostracized and wasn't popular, or got in trouble once, or had a bad reputation for, being a hooker type or whatever, right? And I was always seeking out the underdog. And I didn't know why. I didn't know why at the time. But then I would be like, are they fucking with you? What? We're going to show them. And it was never it was mind over matter, right? Of how to get these things done and empower people. I'm not a stupid person. And I could have been, and I was the cheerleader. I was a cheerleader at dating the football star. Okay. But I was also the person that would go associate with the people that these people just weren't going to associate with. Right? So I was ousted in my popular circle because you're not really like us, but you're cool. You're pretty. You're a cheerleader, so we have to accept you. Kinda. Because you hang out with those people too, and we don't do that. So I was always fighting this
dynamic. And I gave no shits. I gave no shits. And I ended up marrying that star football player. Yep, it did. So, hey, girls. Hey, mean girls at the courthouse. You could pretend to be all nice and shit, but I know what you're all about, especially you, Carrie Lombardi. Carrie Lombardi was the judge over Liz's case when Liz got slammed into the wall. Aurora Transparency? Yeah. So, Carrie, I also know your history with being the judge over a lot of the Eric Brandt stuff, right? So I know what Carrie Lombardi's made of. And you're really spiteful, look down your nose kind of woman that I've taken notice a few times, Carrie. So yeah, at any rate, sure, have Judith fill in for you. And I'm sure Jamie is prepared. So hopefully I don't end up with another warrant. But who knows? Who knows what they're gonna do? And poor Joel Bell, the commander of District 3 in his official capacity. I figured he's probably not even gonna show up to court. I mean, he's the victim, right? And so why would they let the victim come testify? I don't think I'm even going to be able to face my accuser in the court. My point is, we can follow all the rules. My attorneys will. They always have. My attorneys followed the rules in our federal hearing also. And that Judge Brimmer allowed the other attorney for the cops, Joel Bell being one of them, he gave them a free pass on breaking the rules, right? When I took this issue to federal court about not being able to sit on the use of force board. So there's a lot of things playing here. And Judge Brimmer, of course, a Bush appointee in the preliminary injunction hearing. This was a preliminary injunction hearing back in December. I haven't talked a lot about it. I'll talk more about it after this trial. But Brimmer essentially told the Denver Police Department, look, you dumb shits, you need to rewrite your policy so you're not in here again getting sued. I don't like Miss Benson. I'm going to make sure that, he might as well just have said that on the record. She's not nice to the cops, and that doesn't set well with me. And I'm supposed to be really good on free speech stuff, but in this particular case, I don't have to be, because it's a preliminary injunction, and I'm going to throw out this whole entire lawsuit right now. So that's what happened. But my point in that is that these judges are going to allow the prosecution to break all the rules. And no matter who we subpoena or how, they're not going to be available the day of trial. I'm telling you, this is the most important criminal case that I have ever had in all of my criminal cases. And it just became that important today. So this is wild. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. I'll quit talking your ear off. And it was frivolous crap. I hope the judge would recognize that. Are you talking about my case? They don't care. Some are born with goodness in their hearts, very few in this timeline. Are you talking about this chat? Don't forget the attorneys and judges are in the same club as well. Well, I'm going to tell you that my attorney is not in the same club. Okay? Sure, I'm betting you're saying right now, yeah, okay, Regan, okay, you go ahead and convince yourself of that. I'm telling you, she's not in the same club. The prosecutors and the judges, of course, always are, and most public defenders, but you guys, there are good public defenders. So do not ever take on cases without representation, please. And if you got a shitty public defender, educate yourself on what you need to keep track of so you can get rid of them. Okay? You can do it. You are entitled to competent counsel. Thanks, Bohica. If she gave you this information, then there's no way she cannot be in the club. What do you mean if she gave it to me? It's her fucking job to give it to me. It's her job to tell me what's going on with my case. That is exactly what defines her, separates her from the club. If she were in the club, she wouldn't have told me shit. She hasn't missed a step. So, become national status in America. All right, guys. Love you. Till next time.